This question for Guy and Rob. What did you enjoy most about being a part of this film? I was going to ask what was most challenging, but then I thought, what did you enjoy?
Penetration.
I don't know why that's become a joke now. Well, I think it's the whole experience, really. As I said before, as an actor, you're looking for interesting directors and interesting work, and you look back at the work that you've done, and you hope that it's work that resonates with people and with yourself. You want it to be just as affecting for yourself as for an audience. And I think that personally, and it's always hard to talk about David in front of David, but he's a really special filmmaker, and I think just being part of the world that he creates it's really special and personally really important for me.
Yeah, just working on something where everyone cares a lot about the movie, about what they're doing. I mean, everybody in the crew, no one, even by the end of it, no one was sick of each other or anything. I think everyone was very excited, and it's very rare in any field to have even 3 months doing that. David was saying at the end, it was like standing in the middle of the parking lot, and I asked him what was up, and he was like, I just want to appreciate this day, because I'm only going to have a finite number of 6 or 7 more. I don't want to limit you to do 6 or 7, but only 6 or 7 more of these days in my life, probably. I just want to appreciate it. And that was the first director I've worked with who kind of did that. And when they were rapping, I think most people just wanted to run away or kill themselves.
I wanted to kill myself. I also wanted to suck it in.
David, there's something very interesting that comes out of that from my perspective, because having had the privilege of knowing you for a lot of years now, and having a sense of how you've developed as a filmmaker, collaboration has been a really important part of that. And you mentioned the writing the script with Joel, but there's a kind of core bunch of you who are always working on each other's films, supporting each other develop. Can you tell us about that value of collaboration for you in that filmmaking process?
Yeah, I mean, there's the little gang that otherwise known as Blue Tongue Films that I made a lot of shorts with, and still kind of, I'm still working with Joel, a whole other thing that I'm writing with Joel at the moment, and it gets a little bit harder now that we're all kind of, playing in the big pool. It gets a little bit harder because it soaks up a lot of our time. The shorts were kind of much easier. We just got, someone asks you to help, and it was maybe tops a couple of weeks of your time, and then you're out. Now it's months and months and months, so it becomes more difficult. But I find that sort of collaboration everywhere now in different ways with different people. I'm a person who doesn't leave the house unless I absolutely have to. And the thing I love about making movies is that it drags me out of the house, and I get to work with really talented people. It's fun. I love it. It's like, and the beauty of making movies too is that we say rehearsal. Like, what is rehearsal? Really, it's just people sitting in a room talking about life, remembering when I did this thing, or, whatever, just finding a way of filtering the abstract of what you're about to do, filtering it through your own experiences, and I love that stuff. That's, I mean, in a way, it's like these become my relationships. I have to pay people to be my friends. What a weird thing to say.
David will pay all of you if you hang around for another hour. It's a lot of money to be made tonight.
Sadly, we don't have another hour. I think I'm sad about that. But what I would just like to wrap with, I think one of the really exciting things for me as a total fangirl of the Western, and having seen this film start its life at the Cannes Film Festival earlier this year, where Tommy Lee Jones had his new Western, The Homesman, Christian Levering had his new film, The Salvation. I'm kind of out there barracking for the return of the Western, and I'm wondering whether each of you has a favourite Western.
Yeah, I think Andrew Dominik's The Assassination of Jesse James is the best film of the last 20 years. I just love that movie so much. I've seen it 20 times now, and I think it's a masterpiece.
You need to get out of the house.
Yeah, you're right.
Well, I don't know. It's a hard question to answer. I mean, I was a fan of Unforgiven. You know, I thought the film Unforgiven was pretty special. But well, no, that's really great. And then we did a film called The Proposition in Australia a few years ago that everybody talks about as being a sort of a Western. I've never really been overly aware of the Western genre, to be honest. And having done 2 Australian films now that people keep sort of saying, you know, fall into that sort of genre, it's interesting. One being in the 1880s and one being, you know, slightly in the future. So, but yeah, as a film that I'm not in, probably Unforgiven.
And for you, Robert?
I always read The Searchers. And I always think it's Tombstone. I love Tombstone. Oh, yeah. Who directed that? I forget who directed it.
I'm going to turn the blank on this myself. Anyone?
George Cosmatos.
Thanks.
What? Who was it?
George Cosmatos.
There you go.
George Cosmatos.
The winning cinephile in the audience.
Did he go on to have a big career, or? Right. There you go.
This lady would like to ask a question.
Yeah. Right.
Oh.
Oh,
How very nice.
good old Rover.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you.
David, Robert, Guy, thank you so much for being here tonight. It's been a real personal pleasure to have you here, and we wish you all the best for the life of the film.
All right.
Thank you.